Hola amigos, once again, this is your maestro, Kiongo Muigai, on Spanish channel, Spanish Central, welcoming you to today's lesson. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for passing the word around and for sharing with friends. Muchas gracias. I really appreciate your support. So if you are just joining us today for the first time or you have not previously subscribed, kindly, por favor means please, go ahead, hit the subscribe button now so you don't miss anything. And if you want to be the first to know when we upload the video, click on the bell icon. Click on the bell icon. It's just next to the subscribe button on there, and you should be first to know when we upload a video on our on Spanish Central. So once again, your maestro, Kiongo Muigai, thanking you a lot for your continued support. All right, let's see what we have on the plate today. Our lesson today, you see, I've been talking about regular verbs and telling you we do have some irregular verbs in Spanish. And today we're going to be tackling our first irregular verb, and that's the verb to be, the verb to be in Spanish. So this is to be in the sense of like, if you're saying like you are saying your name, I am, how do you say I am? If you are saying like where, like your nationality, how do you say I am from this place, I am from this country? If you are saying like your profession, how do you say I am a teacher, I am a business person, I am an accountant, how do you say that? Or how do you say like I'm intelligent? Now you get the sense what we're going to be talking about today, the verb to be. The reason I went ahead and mentioned some of these examples is because there's a very distinct difference in between English and Spanish, again, when it comes to the verb to be, In English, I'm gonna go to my board and we're gonna do a lot of writing and erasing on the board today because this is every lesson is important, but this is crucially important. Let me bring the board here so I can show you what I mean. And again, this is our first irregular verb that we're going to be tackling. And I urge you to go ahead and look at the regular verbs. For example, of regular, so far we've only covered regular AR verbs. AR verbs. That's what we've covered so far. So go ahead so that you can be familiar as we get into this new subject of irregular verbs. You can be familiar. We can be on the same page what I'm talking about. So I believe it captures that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it does capture. Does it? Oriented. Okay, good. Let me come here. Now, before I go into breaking down what we have today, like I said, the distinct differences that exist in English and Spanish when it comes to this. Let me draw a line here. I want to illustrate. Now, I purposely left off this white space on the right to illustrate. You see, in English, when we say like I am, the verb to be, in English, to be. When we say I am so-and-so, your name, or I am of a certain nationality, I am of nationality T or U, K, or I am bored, You see, in English, we just use the same root verb, original verb to be, and look at the differences. This expresses your identity, who you are. Also, this expresses an inherent characteristic. This is I am, your name, this is I am of a certain nationality, and this expresses I am bored. This is a temporary state. You may be bored this moment, then in a few minutes you get something exciting and that's gone. In Spanish, we use two different forms of to be to express what we call inherent characteristics. Like inherent characteristics are those that don't change. Like you're born with, like your name, that's an inherent characteristic. You may change your name at some point, but that's part of your identity. Also, like if you are intelligent, like your mental ability, your mental ability, or something like your nationality. Those we call them inherent characteristics in Spanish because they tend to be more permanent. And for those, we use ser, the verb to be, the verb to be. Now, what we call temporary characteristics in Spanish is things like when you want to say like you're bored, or you are sick, or you are at one place where you may be in that place 1 minute, the next place you are at a different place. We use a different form of to be. We use a different form of to be, which is called, it's called Estar. It's called Estar. E-S-T-A-R, Estar. Let me bold it. E-S-T-A-R. This is also the verb to be, and it's a lesson for another day. I just want to go ahead and mention this to you if you're going to be keeping up, so that when we come to it, you don't get lost. Estar, we use it to talk about characteristics that are more temporary. Like if you wanted today to say you are sick, or you are bored, or take those two examples, you are sick or you're bored. You see, these mostly are temporary, something you're going to be sick this moment, then hopefully you feel better, or you're going to be bored the next moment, you feel better. So we have a different verb for that. It's called estar, estar, E-S-T-A-R. The form of to be that we are talking about today, ser, is for those characteristics that are more permanent. Like, for example, let me write here so you don't get lost. Like our identity, ID, we use ser. Like our nationality, we use ser. Like our mental ability, we use ser, to be. I'm gonna give you examples. I wanted to mention that, so this is a crucial lesson, and I know the first time there may be, because it's different from English, because English, whether you're talking about I am happy, temporary state, or I am bored, or I am of a certain nationality, or I am an accountant, I am whichever your profession is, we use the same verb to be, I am. And yeah, go look at it in English, but in Spanish it's different. And that's why I wanted to go ahead and mention that. So second point, why these are called irregular verbs. Why are they called irregular verbs? Again, I urge you to go to my videos where I've posted the example of a regular verb, regular AR verb. And I'm gonna mention briefly here, but go to the videos I've posted previously, and you're going to see why this is an irregular verb as compared to a regular verb. Let me jog your memory. Let's take, for example, regular verb, hablar, to speak. Hablar, to speak. It's H-A-B-L-A-R. hablar, to speak. So in a regular verb, what we usually say is that a Spanish verb in its infinitive, in its original form, is made up of the root, which is also the ending, and the stem, which is the other part. Remember, I said every verb in Spanish is either going to end in AR, ER, or IR. So in a regular verb, what we usually do in order to be able to conjugate, we usually separate this. The ending, that's our root. What's left here is the stem. So usually remember how we did that. I want you to go back to that video. We usually transplant this HABL, and this is where we just go and add the endings. Like for example, if you want to say I speak, you're just going to say to add the ending for I, which is O, and you say yo hablo. Or if you want to say she speaks, the ending is just going to be A, and it's going to be ella habla. So you can say in a regular verb, you divide, once you isolate what you separate the ending, then you're left with the stem. This is what you transplant and put on the endings. What's the difference between a regular end and irregular verb? Now I'm about to show you. And now, tricky part for the irregular verbs is that they don't flow that way. Let me tell you. Now, they are called irregular because you can see the verb ser in its original form is just S-E-R, to be, S-E-R, to be. So with irregular verbs, why they are called irregular, you cannot even separate and have that ending. You cannot divide it into two where you have the ending, the root, and the stem, because like in this case, you're going to be left with just S. So with the irregular verbs, what you do, you have to memorize these endings. You have to memorize these endings or to cram them, whichever adjective you want to use. Let me see if it captures it right there. Yeah, so with the irregular verbs, unfortunately, you have to memorize the ending. So for the first person singular, I, we say yo soy. For second person singular, which is tú, you say tú eres. For third person singular, él, ella, which is him, her, or he, she, it's S. For the you formal, remember, go to my previous videos. If you're here for the first time, you wonder what's you formal and you informal. For the you formal, it's ES ending. For the nosotros, we, it's nosotros somos. For the ellos, ellas, this is the plural of he, she, it, or he and she, or him and her. Ellos, ellas, ending is son, S-O-N, and the plural of you, ustedes, is S-O-N. So for example, you're going to say yo soy. If you wanted to say I am, for example, yo soy, you would say yo soy inteligente. If you wanted to say you are intelligent. Yo soy inteligente. Okay. Ella es profesora. Profesora. So now you get the sense of when I said the verb to be, what I mean by just expounding it. So once again, let's look at the endings for the irregular verb ser, to be. It's yo soy, tú eres, él, ella es, usted es, nosotros somos, we are, that's plural, ellos, ellas son, and ustedes son. So those are, today we get to speak about our first irregular verb, ser, which means to be, and to be in the sense of, like I said, inherent characteristics that we are more permanent, like our identity, our nationality, and like our mental abilities. That's why you see they are given example of soy inteligente. So, muy bien, amigos, that was a handful of a lesson today. And there were some sub lessons in today's lesson, but that's the beauty of the language. Like I said, remember in my first video, I said the language is like a building block. You just simply build. The way you attain fluency is by building on what you learned in the first lesson. Keep building, keep building, keep going up, keep going up. And before you realize, you are communicating effectively. So once again, amigos, this has been your maestro, Kiongo Muigai from our Spanish channel, Spanish Central. So kindly please share the video, previous videos, continue to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe now. Hit the subscribe button at the bottom. Also hit the notification button to be able to get a notification when we post a video. Leave a comment and feedback. I appreciate all the comments and feedback. And if you are enjoying and learning the lesson, go ahead and like the video. So once again, we come to the end of our lesson today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing this and for being on this journey with me. Until the next video, till the next time. Hasta luego. Adios.